and today I want to go over how to eat. Not gonna really talk about just like low in calories, but really talk about how to eat the right foods and a few tips just so you keep your metabolism up, you keep your hormones ideal. Because when your hormones are ideal, that's when you can lose the most body fat. Obviously, you gotta make sure that your calories are in check too. So I've had this board up for a couple of weeks. I shared this with my clients, so I'm just gonna share it with you, kind of explain everything. I don't think you can see it from here, but the first one is just eat healthy foods. So what I mean by that is you don't want to eat anything processed. You don't want to eat anything that wasn't living. So your diet should be full of fruits, vegetables, proteins, healthy fats like olive oil, coconut oil, fats and meats, fats in the eggs. These are all natural things that are going to keep your hormones right, and your body can use these foods a lot easier. So things you want to avoid is anything processed. You know, like obviously cook these cakes, chips, pizza, things like that help. But a lot of people think a lot of starches are healthy, like cereal. To me, cereal is awful, just because it's so high in carbohydrates for like I think 3/4 of a cup, and usually people have more than that. And the last thing you want to do is eat a high sugary meal in the morning. Your body is ideal to burn fat. So you want to limit grains. If you can eliminate grains, most people can't digest grains, and it causes a lot of inflammation in the body, which is going to make you release cortisol, which is going to mess around with either your estrogen hormones if you're a female, or your testosterone hormones if you're a male, and that's just going to make you put on body fat in areas you don't want to put on. So you want to eat healthy, natural food. So think of it as like prehistoric times where we had to go out and hunt. You know, you pick vegetables, you pick fruit, and you hunt. So other than that, that should be like the basic of your diet. I'm not telling you never eat grains again or never to eat dairy again, but those should be they should be limited and very supplemented to the diet. The bulk of your diet should be fruits, vegetables, and meats, and obviously healthy fats with the oils I just talked about. The next thing is try to do like 12-hour gap in between the last meal you have at night and breakfast. We want a pretty big gap, because you want to give your body a break. When we eat, it makes our body work really hard when we eat. As far as the digestive system goes, as far as our insulin is always high during the day because we're constantly eating, and you want time to give that a break. And when you give your digestive system a break, it's going to be healthy. When you give your insulin a break, it's going to go back to a very normal, healthy level. When it's at that normal, healthy level, that's when we're primed to burn fat. So actually, when we're sleeping, that's the best time during the whole day that we're burning fat. So you want to make sure that you have a decent gap, so you can let your blood sugar lower, let your insulin levels lower, give your digestive system a break as well. And also another thing, when we sleep, a hormone called human growth hormone, which is known to help us build and maintain muscle and burn fat, is very high at night. So we want to make sure we get 8 hours of sleep, and we also want to make sure there's a gap between the last meal at night and the meal in the morning, because the longer that is, the more fat burn that's going to take place. So once we eat and spike that insulin up, the HGH hormone is going to go down, the insulin goes up. I just mentioned this, but try your best to get 8 hours of sleep. A lot of times people will just constantly release cortisol, which again is going to affect hormones and make you store extra fat because they're putting too much stress on your body. So you want to make sure that you get enough sleep so you can recover from your workouts. So I would say 8 hours of sleep is good. Also, you want to make sure that you're not just drinking a ton of stimulants. So I would say no more than 2 cups of coffee a day, and just try to eliminate. I know it's hard sometimes. Try to eliminate as much stress as you can from your life. And if you're working out hard, do things that are make sure you. If you work out really hard, you have a lot of stress in your life. Make sure you do things that are relaxing. That's like taking an hour to yourself, reading a book, going for a walk. Just things that are going to relax you. Because too much stress in your life is going to make you store more fat. And another thing, we just talked about how we want to give our insulin a break and digestive system a break. So instead of eating like every 2 or 3 hours, which is what most people tell you to do, because it cranks up your metabolism. It might crank up your metabolism a very small amount, but to me it's not really worth it. And by eating every 2 or 3 hours, your metabolism isn't really going to go up that high. So I would recommend you eat 4 or 5 hours, and that's going to give you insulin a chance to drop down normal levels, so you stop burning more body fat. Because when your insulin's high, you use calories from the food that you eat. So I would get like all your meals between like 4 or 5 hours apart, and focus on having real meals and not just snacking all day too. And when you eat, always combine a protein with some form of carbohydrate. So if that carbohydrate is a low fat vegetable, if that's things like potatoes, sweet potato soup, always balance it too, so your insulin doesn't go too high. Next thing I want to go over is make sure you avoid. Actually, I already mentioned that at the top, but again, make sure you avoid sugars and any processed food, because it's really going to take a toll on your body. Your body doesn't recognize it as real food, and it also has been known to mess with your liver. Because if your liver is trying to get all this processed junk, which is a toxin to your body, out of your body, it can't help metabolize fat, and that's ideally what most of us want to do. We want to be lean, we want to be strong, we need to constantly be putting our bodies in a fat burning state. And eating processed food, even if it's low calorie, is not doing that. And you also want to, for the same reason, you want to limit booze, because alcohol is a toxin to your body. So this is not something you want to do all the time. If you're a drinker, I recommend max 2 nights a week, no more than 2 or 3 drinks, and I would pick alcohol beverages that are low in calories. I would stay away from beer because beer is grain, and maybe do red wines or like a vodka and a club soda, something like that. Something that's not too high in sugar, and just don't overindulge. If you overindulge in alcohol, you're just going to send your body like days back. It's going to take a few days for your body to get rid of all that stuff and stop metabolism fat at a really good rate. And then last thing I have is no more than 2 cups of coffee. Again, this just goes back to you don't want to put too much stress on your body. Remember that when you work out, you're stressing your body. When you have just like shit going on in life, when you stress all the time, that's a stress to your body. When you have stimulants like energy drinks and coffees, those are just a bunch of stimulants to your body. And when you lack sleep, that's another stress on your body. So you don't want so much. If you have too much stress on your body, that's when your body releases cortisol, and you just can't burn fat as much as you used to. Get testosterone or estrogen levels get messed up. So you really don't want to get into that. So I limit to 2 cups of coffee. I usually drink a medium iced coffee like a half hour before I work out, and that's it. I don't even drink it in the morning. And once you get used to not using that coffee as a crutch, you feel so much better. You have so much energy. Now, I hope these tips helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions.